Alrighty, welcome to the third edition of the Damsels in Debate podcast. I'm your host, Tina.
And I'm your co-host, Vanessa.
Yay, we're at number 3. This is great. Yay. Okay, so, Vanessa, what did you do this week?
Well, other than working my 2 jobs, which is such slave work, but I actually started reading a new book, because we haven't been really talking about books.
I know,
on our podcast,
we've
talking
been
more
slacking.
about movies and stuff.
Yeah.
But I actually started reading a book by Jim Gaffigan called Dad is Fat. He's a comedian, but he wrote, it's kind of like a biography. He wrote it with his wife, and it's comprised of, small essays, but it's really funny. He's talking about his kids and stuff, because he actually has 5 kids now. I thought he only had 4.
Wow.
But he was listing them all, and he has pictures and stuff, so it's really interesting, and it's parts of it already I've been cracking up out loud.
Yeah,
So,
I definitely want to read that because I think he's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
So
I only wish I gotta look to see if he did an audiobook of it, because I think that'd be so much better. It'd be like a stand-up special.
Yeah, and his voice.
Yes, because actually he wrote a foreword to it, and
Right.
it's in the audience voice, but he says what's wrong with this guy speaking on my behalf, and you can hear his audience voice he looks pale.
Cool. Yeah, I definitely want to check that one out.
Yeah.
So,
What did you do this week, Tina?
Same thing. I worked a lot this week, so I didn't have a whole lot of downtime. We did get to see The Great Gatsby early, so that was kind of cool. We'll
Monday.
talk about we'll talk about that in a little bit. And also tonight, I'm going to a halfway to Halloween bash at a club in Ybor. So after I leave here, I gotta go get a costume together.
Party animal, you.
Oh yeah, that's totally me.
We're going streaking through the quad and into the gymnasium. Come on, everybody!
I also watched Star Trek in preparation for next week because
okay.
the next movie's coming out, and I just wanted a little bit of a refresher, and that was awesome. But yeah, that was pretty much it. I also started my own Fast and Furious marathon because we also got tickets for a screening next Wednesday for that movie. I'm sorry, what is it? 6? Fast and Furious 6.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the third one is the only one I haven't seen, but there's a lot of stuff that got mixed up, so I decided to just start watching all those movies. I watched the first one this morning, and that was it's a little trip
Paul
down
Walker.
memory lane. Yeah, and Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
They look great in there. But yeah, that came out when I was a freshman, so it's funny to watch it now. And
Freshman
I'm
in high school? Or?
yes,
Okay,
in high school. So yeah, that was pretty fun. Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah, those movies I've always seen 1, 4, and 5. Mm-hmm. My sister tells me I need to see 2. She said 3, which is that Tokyo Drift. She said it's like a separate movie. It's not worth seeing. Even though it's part of the
that's the
series.
one I haven't seen.
So I said, okay, I'll see number 2. I think that's Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yes, yeah. And that's the one where you meet Tyrese Gibson's character.
As my sister calls him, you need to meet my baby in the second one.
Oh, wow.
Okay, Raina.
Yes, there are a lot of hot men in that series, not gonna lie about that.
When I walk on by, girls be looking like Debbie Fly.
What's funny about that is that it caters to both audiences. It has the cars for the guys, and
Oh,
then it
yeah.
has the hot guys for the girls.
Yeah, totally. It's that's why that series makes so much money.
Oh,
Well, anyway, so that's all we did this week, and we'll keep going with that Fast and Furious topic in our movie news section. So what
yes.
did you read?
When Raina and I were talking about which movies we've seen and stuff, and we were trying to remember what the titles were, I ended up just going to Wikipedia and searching Fast and Furious and getting all
Right.
the movie titles. And I mean, I don't know how trustworthy Wikipedia is, but on Wikipedia it says that they're already signed up for a Fast and Furious 7. But because Vin Diesel wants to do it really quickly, because he was a producer on 6, one of the producers, yeah.
Okay.
But Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson on the bottom was saying that he may not be able to make number 7 because he's also filming Hercules around that time. Which I was like, I haven't heard of this. Well, that's a good cast. For Hercules.
Yeah. Let me just jump in and ask you a question real quick. In the article, when you said they signed on, do you mean the director and the principal cast? Or...
I think it just said everybody, I believe.
Oh, okay.
So they're already in talks. They're going to start filming. They want to release it next summer.
Oh,
So
all right.
they're going, pretty.
They're going
quickly
Fast and
with
Furious
this.
with that.
But boom. So that I thought was interesting. Oh, look at that little sneak peek. They're coming out with 6 and they're going to do a 7.
Yeah. Well, so I'm guessing none of the big names, big name characters in the series are going to die in this episode if they're going to make another movie. But hey, you
No,
never
they'll
know.
just bring them back, like they did Letty. So I mean, it's not a big.
Yeah, I'm really Yeah, I'm curious to see how that all plays out.
It don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
Okay, but anyway, I also read earlier this week that Tom Cruise has signed on for Mission Impossible 5.
Number 5.
So yeah, that's pretty interesting, I think, because the last movie, I know you didn't see that one, right?
I've only seen Mission Impossible. I think we talked about this. I've only seen number 2
Yeah,
of
yeah.
that whole series.
Well,
So.
I think I own 3, so if you ever want to actually watch it, I have it. But anyway, yeah, so that's number 5, and the last movie was really good, actually. I wasn't really expecting a whole lot because it was the 4th movie in the series, but it was really, really good. And they didn't, like, pass the torch on to another character, but they set it up so that you could follow this other set of characters if Tom Cruise, didn't want to do the movies anymore and they didn't want to use, his character Ethan Hunt anymore. But yeah, he signed on for the next one, so let's hope it's good, because those movies I think are pretty. I don't absolutely love them, but I think they're pretty consistent. They're pretty enjoyable for me.
Yeah, and they're good action. I know you like
Yeah,
action
yeah.
movies.
Yeah, no, but the last one, you should check that one out because it was really good.
What was that, Ghost Protocol or something like that?
Yes, Ghost
Okay.
Protocol, and Jeremy Renner is in it. So
Oh,
yay.
Hawkeye.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, exactly. Speaking of Hawkeye, I also read that this is pretty interesting. I think ABC gave a full series order to the show about the Shield characters. I think it's called Agents of Shield. So, not that Hawkeye's going to be in it, but
Just made you think of it, yeah.
yeah, exactly. And Clark Gregg, the guy who plays Agent Coulson, he's going to be the star of the show.
So is this going to take place before Avengers? Because
I would say
died
yes.
in Avengers?
God, Karen, you are so stupid.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a yes on
Okay.
that. But that
Wait.
sounds interesting. So I don't know how. I'm not sure how well it'll work. Just because you're going to be like, all right, come on, we're the Avengers, But it could. Who knows? If it's written well, it could be very entertaining.
Well, that makes me think about one thing that I read that really upset me is when I was reading, I think it was called the Entertainment Weekly. It was an article on Iron Man 3. And they're saying how Robert Downey Jr. is not going to do any more Iron Man movies. But they were also saying that, I can see us doing an Iron Man 4, 5, and 6. We'll make it like with James Bond. We'll just have a different person playing Iron Man. I was like,
Yeah.
No.
I don't like that idea.
How about no?
Exactly. The Marvel universe is so gigantic. There's dozens of superheroes that you and me have never even heard of.
Yeah.
And I had never heard of Iron Man before the movie came out, and I love what they did with Iron Man. So I have no doubt that they could do the same thing with a different character. But I think they should keep one actor. Well, with the exception of Bruce Banner, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, because that worked out okay, but I can't imagine somebody else doing a better job than Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man.
Right, I agree. So yeah, if he's not in, I think they should move on. But at the same time, I don't know, I guess give this last Iron Man 3 was a good closure, I guess, for the character, but to have him in one more Avengers movie, I think would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see
Which
how that
he will
plays
be,
out.
so.
Yeah,
he's gonna be in-
exactly.
He said Tony Stark will return, so.
Exactly. Yeah, I can't wait for that. I mean, it's so far away, but I still can't wait for it. Speaking of Iron Man 3, this is such a ridiculous story. I read that a theater in Missouri hired a fake guy dressed up, I guess, in SWAT looking gear with a fake gun for the premiere of Iron Man 3. And weirdly enough, some people did not like that. They called 911 and were complaining about it. I can't imagine why they would do that.
Is this just one theater?
Yes.
Was it anywhere near, for that?
Well, the
Dark
other one was
Knight
in
Rises
the other one was in Colorado. This is in Missouri. They're not, they're not really close to each other. Or
I don't
anything.
understand the necessity for it, other than
I
just to
have
scare
no
people.
idea. It's the stupidest planning that I've ever seen. I could see people dressed up as Iron Man or Tony Stark. That'd be hilarious. But it's just I can't even comment on it. It's just so stupid. I don't know. Maybe the reason they did it is just for publicity because now everybody's talking about this theater. But other than that, it's just in very poor taste and it's just really stupid, I think. Yeah. In more horrible news, I know you don't watch these shows, but I'm going to talk about them anyway real quick. I recently read, I think it was yesterday, that the show Happy Endings, which comes on ABC, I think, has been canceled. And it's a really, really funny show.
It didn't have a happy ending?
No, I guess not. Well, hopefully they can wrap it up so that it has a proper ending for the show. But yeah, it's sad. It was a really cute comedy. And then also Southland, the cop drama show, has been canceled, which I'm really pissed about because it's a really good show, and they ended the season on a major cliffhanger. Like the key character, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you because you don't watch it.
Yeah.
Key character got shot like I don't know 3 or 4 times, and the last shot of the last scene, I mean, was him getting shot and then laying on the ground, and the cops like trying to help him out. Like, you didn't actually see him die, but he got shot several times in the chest. So it's a horrible, horrible ending. I'm so mad about that show being canceled. It's a really good show.
Aw.
Yeah.
You have to make up your own ending.
Yeah. I'll do
Kind
that.
of like
yeah.
on, what show is it? Like, who shot JR? You know,
Yeah.
like, who shot the main character?
Right. I mean, like, you know who shot him. It was like a police misunderstanding kind of thing, but it's just, you just don't know what's going to happen to the character.
Right.
And the character had a really sad, like, it was a sad character anyway, and then just to have like a horrible ending like that is, you know, really sad. But I was really hoping that they would do like a, you know, episode wrap up or something like that, but I guess they're not doing that at all. So it's the end, whatever. But I did read that Parks and Recreation got renewed, and I know you don't watch that, but that's a very, very funny show. It's really cute. It's on Netflix if you ever want to check it out. But yeah, I think it comes on NBC, and I think it'll be in its 5th. No, I'm sorry. I think it's going to go into its 6th season. So yay, that got renewed.
So, but speaking about parks,
Oh
that's
boy,
some big news going on. I'll let you tell, 'cause you're the one that found out.
Woo! Man, the other day I was having a really shitty day at work.
Yes, you were.
And I went on Facebook just to, check it, and I saw that they are expanding the Harry Potter
Universe.
land, or whatever, at Universal Studios in Orlando. Right now they have, I guess it's Hogwarts and Hogsmeade, right?
With the butterbeer and stuff, yeah.
Right, exactly. Right now in the Islands of Adventure Park. So in the old park, and I guess it's just called Universal Studios, but in that park they're going to make another Harry Potter section. It's over where Jaws used to be. And that's going to be, what did they say? Was it Diagon Alley? That's going to be there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like they're going to have the bank and all that stuff.
My favorite
in
is
that
they
park.
said they were going to have the Hogwarts Express, like, so
Yeah.
that people can go from park to park through the Hogwarts Express.
Oh man, I was like,
it's brilliant.
yeah, I was flipping out when I read that. I'm so excited. And they're going to have the bank, and there's going to be a ride in the bank, and I'm like, oh my god, they're going to have a dragon. I was like flipping out when I read. I'm so excited about that.
So I remember you and I were talking about, like, what else are they going to put? They're going to put the Forbidden Forest, you know?
Yeah, there's so much they could
like
do
Hagrid's
with that.
house.
Yeah, well, actually, they have Hagrid's house.
They do?
But it's not. You can't go in it. It's just like in the line for the. I think it's the flying unicorn or whatever. The little real kitty roller coaster they had there. You can see Harry's house or Hagrid's house, but you can't go in it or anything. But yeah, I'm so excited about that. And it's said that it was going to open in 2014. So I don't know if it would be cool to have it open for the summer, but I don't know when it'll open in the year.
I think that'd be smart for the summer because a lot of the tourists come down during the summertime.
Exactly,
So that'd be the best
yeah.
time to open it.
If not the summer, then they'll definitely have it open for the holiday season. But yeah, that is totally nerding out over that one, yeah.
Nerd alert!
Well, anyway, that's all we have for movie news. Not really too many new trailers. There's that Tom Hanks one I want to check out, but didn't really see any this week. So, moving on. So now we're up to Clearing the Queue. So no Walking Dead this week, right?
No, I've watched my share of Walking Dead for a while. So.
Yeah, you got to slow it down. But you did get to see Breaking Bad, though.
Yes, I did, the second episode.
Okay, what did you think of that?
I thought it was entertaining. I wrote some notes here, some parts that just really cracked me up. Because what's nice is that there's a serious situation going on where they have this one guy who's dead and this other guy who is still alive, and they're like, "What are we gonna do with these people?"
Yeah.
You know, so it's a serious situation, but they make it funny. Like when the main character, he has to they flipped a coin, so he has to be the one that kills the survivor that's in the basement. And you see him, and he's looking through the drawers, and he first pulls out a knife, and he's like, "Oh no!" And then he goes to another drawer, and he pulls out a hammer. It's like it was making me laugh. It reminded me of Clue as well. So in the basement with the hammer.
Yeah, the wrench.
And then the best part I thought that whole episode was when the guy was awake when he went down there, and he was yelling up, "Can I have some water?" So the next scene, it's just one, it's on the camera's on a tripod, so it's still, still, and it's the shot of the prisoner, and you see like one water jug slide towards him from off screen. It just slides in,
Right.
and then another water jug, and then a plate of food, and then a bucket, and then a thing of toilet paper, and then hand sanitizer. I'm like, oh, they keep going with it. I was just laughing. He didn't want to get close to him, but the guy has the same like stare, like that blank stare, as the off the camera. The other guy is sliding all these supplies towards him.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else. One that I thought was really sad part was when he and his wife were getting the ultrasound, and they found out the wife is having they're having a girl.
Yes.
And she was saying like, oh, I'll remember you said that when she turns 16 and starts dating.
Right.
And he kind of like, oh, and he like stops because he has cancer, so he knows he's not going to make it to
Right.
the daughter's 16. I was like, oh.
Yeah, that was sad.
They remind the audience, like reminding you, like, hey, he has cancer. Don't forget that.
Yeah, that's a lingering thing. It's not gonna go away. I totally forgot she was pregnant until then. I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh, and I had two more things. I said I really like the shot of when the guy, I can never remember their names, but the drug guy, the younger kid, drops the dead body into the bathtub. In the bathtub, they have like a clear bottom, so they're filming up through the bottom of the bathtub.
Oh, yeah.
And so you see the guy's face like smushed on the tub.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cute, or not cute. I thought it was cool.
Oh, that was quaint.
Oh, it's so cute, the face smushed on it. And then the last part of the show, these kids are in the desert and they find like the face mask. I'm like, what are these kids doing in the middle of nowhere? It'd be fine if they panned over and you see their parents like in an RV or something, but like, where are these kids coming from? Because I remember from the first episode, the guy saying there's a farm in the far, far distance, so there wasn't anyone around. It's like, where are these kids coming from?
Yeah.
Middle of nowhere. So, but other than that, yes, I really enjoyed it.
I was cracking up at him trying to roll the joint. Like,
Yes.
kept like messing up.
And now they're playing the reggae music in the background.
Yeah,
Smoking
exactly.
it.
And then the part with his wife, she's kind of getting annoying, I think.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Get off my ass!"
Oh yes, I wrote that down too.
That was
You
pretty
know what?
funny.
Can you just climb down out of my ass?
Yeah,
just once.
Yeah, I was
please?
like, good, because she's getting annoying, and just when the at the very end of the episode when the tub falls through.
Oh,
and
all the human
yeah.
remains. That
Ooh,
reminded me
that was
so much
gross.
of True Blood after they stake a vampire.
Oh
They
yeah,
had the same look to it. I was like, oh, they just killed a vampire.
He was a vampire all along.
Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty gross.
Yeah, no, it was an entertaining episode
Yeah, it
though.
was.
So, like you said, there was a good, very fair amount of comedy in there. But then they really they get you right back. Like, oh yeah, this is there's serious stuff going on. here.
Serious situation on our hands.
Exactly. Yeah, so I enjoyed it too. But yes, I did watch You've Got Mail this week, and I enjoyed it. It was a really cute movie. I'm pretty sure that Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks have been in 3 movies together, and I saw Joe versus the Volcano like a really long time ago, so I don't remember that movie. And then of course I've seen and like Sleepless in Seattle. So I wanted to see this one so I could complete the set, But yeah, it's really cute. Of course they have great chemistry together.
Yes.
And they're both very, very likable. What was the last movie Meg Ryan was in?
She was in The Women.
That's the last thing I can think of.
Yeah.
When did that come out? Like,
I don't know. I remember you
2008
saying that you had
or
heard bad
something?
reviews about it, but I think it was a good movie. So
Yeah, I've never seen it, but I was just wondering. I'm like, when she hasn't been in anything
No.
in a real long time. Wonder if she is retired or
No.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
I don't know. But anyway, yes, I thought it was very cute. Something that I thought was really funny that I noticed about halfway through the movie is that, she's got her little individual bookshop.
Yeah, the shop around the corner.
Right, the shop around the corner. And then the Fox books, the big, bad, company owned and, corporate.
Serving coffee and yeah.
Right, exactly. And they're knocking out these ma and pa shops all over the place, and that's the way of the future. Basically, that's how it's going to go and stuff. And I double checked. This movie came out in 1998, and it's so funny because now you keep hearing about Borders closing and Barnes and Nobles. I think had to close down a bunch of stores. Walden Books. It's all these stores are closing down now because people have ebooks and
Right.
stuff like, everything on their tablets.
Yeah,
So you
I
don't
bought
really
that
need
Dad
them.
is Fat for my Nook. I didn't go to the bookstore.
Right, exactly. It's just funny to see the progression because it's like now if you were to make the movie, you'd have to switch things around a bit because now it's the opposite. It's like now the big bookstores are the ones on the chopping block. So I just thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I just like to save room. I don't need any more books. I have a whole book
Right.
that's full of them. So any book that's on an ebook, I will buy it for my Nook because I have
Right.
plenty of memory on there.
Yeah, I mean, it makes total sense. I mean, I understand. I love the nostalgia, just of having a book and stuff like that. But yeah, books take up space. They're harder to hold open and stuff. So it makes sense. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of funny just because of the the years and everything. Yeah, the characters were all cute. I thought that Steve Zahn's character, I don't remember his name, but he's the one who works in the bookstore with the women.
Oh, okay.
I thought he was kind of unnecessary. Like he didn't bring anything to the movie at all. Like I like that actor. I think he's funny and stuff, but he just wasn't needed at all.
The only thing I remember him doing was like, oh, this is why he was late, and he finds a new story.
Right.
The killer is caught or something like that.
Exactly.
This
So
could be him.
yeah, I mean, it just nothing really happened with that. So, but I mean, that wasn't a big problem with the movie. And so yeah, I mean, there wasn't really anything bad. I mean, of course, it was a little predictable, but those kind of movies are and stuff. So it's that wasn't like a big problem I had with it. I think at the end, though, if I was her and I found out, I saw Tom Hanks walking up with his golden retriever, I'd have been like, what the hell? How long have you known? Like, I would just be a little...
Well, she does say, like, I wanted it to be you so bad, so
Yeah.
she wasn't really mad because she wanted it to be him anyway.
Yeah, but it's like he knew for such a long time. I'm not have her like be, because I figured that was gonna happen because that always happens in romantic comedies. Something somebody didn't say, gets found out, and then they get overly mad and they break up, and then there's the mad dash to the airport and all that kind of crap. So I mean, it's good they didn't do that, but I would have just been like, I would have given him like a slap on the shoulder and be like, "What the hell? How come you didn't tell me?" Or something stupid like that. But yeah, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was very cute.
Did you have a certain scene that stood out that you really liked?
Well, I liked the scene when he goes to see her. It's like the second to last scene, or not the second to last, but it's towards the very end of the movie when he goes to see her and she's sick and he's talking to her and just to see how she is. Because she's broken up with Greg Kinnear at that point. The bookstore is closed, and I think he's broken up with Parker Posey also. So I like that scene, and I mean, I love Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Like who doesn't like Tom Hanks? But yeah, any scene he's in, he's great. I think.
Their chemistry in that scene was really good too, because she was about to say something, he like covers her mouth. So don't say something. They're just looking at each other. You like feel the friction.
Yeah. It was funny when I was watching it. I was on the treadmill, which I have to turn stuff up a little bit when I watch, because the treadmill makes noise. But this movie, for some reason, the dialogue volume was really low, so I had to crank it all the way up to the top volume. And then, of course, I forgot, and then turned the DVD off, and then had the regular TV came on, and whoo, I scared the crap out of myself.
Made your mean neighbor hate you even more, huh?
Oh yeah, probably. Who cares?
All right.
But yeah, I liked it.
Good
movie. Thumbs up.
All right.
All right. So what did you watch from your queue?
So I watched the Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yeah.
And I actually watched it with Rob, so he was kind of distracting me at some parts. But overall, yeah, I thought it's a great movie. The first thing I noticed right at the beginning is Robert Downey Jr. is narrating it, and it reminded me of Iron Man 3 right away.
Yeah.
Because he narrates then, too. But I definitely like how it wasn't, like, trying to fool you and that it was a movie, because he kept, the movie paused. He's like, okay, I just want to let you know that this guy at the beginning, this magic guy, is me, and he's like...
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm a shitty narrator.
To the audience. I really like that. He's, like, talking to the viewers.
Right.
Just, like, at the very end, I was cracking up, because at the end, when he's in the hospital, and, like, they're like, oh, yeah, I know you hate it because we thought Val Kilmer was dead. And he's like, oh, what the heck? Let's just bring everybody back. And all the people that died. And then you see, like, Elvis trying to get into the room. I was dying.
Yeah, that part's cute.
My favorite line in that whole movie was
there's so many good
between him.
ones.
Well, my favorite, I just was laughing, was when it's the dialogue between Robert Downey Jr. and Val Kilmer after Robert Downey Jr. had thrown the guy's gun into the lake.
Right.
And Val Kilmer's like,
Look up idiots in the dictionary. You know what you'll find?
Picture me?
No! the definition of the word idiot, which you fucking are.
Right.
Like, no,
yeah,
it's
he's got great lines. In
And
that
I found
movie.
that actually someone posted on YouTube just that line, those lines. So I found that we should put that in there for them to listen to. And then I noticed I love how Batman and Iron Man are in the same movie.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
and then I also noticed, and I posted this on our Twitter account, but the scene where Harmony is at that party at the beginning and she's looking through the books and she finds like her book that she read as a child, but on the bookcase there's a book titled Thor. So like, so now we have Batman, Iron Man, and Thor. You know,
foreshadowing
like,
there.
Yeah, because those movies weren't even thought about, I don't think, back then. So
if they were in like the very early stages.
So I was like, aha. So, but yeah, overall it was very funny. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I love Robert Downey Jr. I love Val Kilmer's character too. So yeah.
I didn't expect to like Val Kilmer. I'm like, holy shit, Val Kilmer is hilarious in this movie. He's so
especially the
mean.
Outtakes too.
Yes, that's a movie. If you get the DVD, you got to watch the outtakes because they're hilarious.
Some questions for me.
Yeah, the first time I watched the movie, I remember being a little like muddy on some of the particulars of the plot.
Well, right.
So,
It was slow at first. Again, like, even Rob was saying, it's like, where's this movie going? I don't understand. I'm like, I'm sure something will happen. And like things started to mesh together. Like, oh, okay, that's why that was important.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, if you do watch it again, like you'll, like I like it more and more the more times I see it. So that probably have the same effect on you. But did you notice like all those Shane Black similarities or things that I was talking about from our last podcast?
Oh yeah, I mean just the little quips and everything, and there's just the that's the physical humor with stuff too, like the wrestling and stuff. It just it's a serious thing. You know, they have like a murder and they're trying to solve this case, but it was just that movie's a comedy to me.
Yeah. Well, good. I'm very glad you enjoyed it.
I am going to watch it again though, because I'm sure I missed little pieces of dialogue of Robert Downey Jr. because he speaks so quickly, and you just like in Avengers when he's like asking Bruce Banner, how do you stay so calm, and he like rattles off a bunch of things like yoga, and then at the very end he's like a large bag of weed, but it's so quickly and they go to the next line. It's like, oh, I never caught that.
Yeah, he says it like under his breath, and just he's fast. He's really fast with that kind of stuff. I'm going to, for Mother's Day, I'm going to try to take my mom to go see Iron Man 3.
Oh, that's nice.
And yeah, I mean, she wants to see it, but I also want to see it again just because I want to see the movie again. But one of the main reasons I want to is because of that, because of all those quick little comments he has. And the first time you're seeing it, everybody's laughing, and he says 2 or 3 things right after that you don't hear because everybody's laughing. So yeah, that's his style, and he does it well. He does it really well. So yay! I'm really glad you liked the movie.
We both liked our movies this week.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I mean, I've liked more of your movies than you've liked mine, but I still, say it's still worth seeing if you don't like it as much.
Right. Yeah, because like with like Blade Runner, everybody's saying like, oh, you need to watch that movie. So I'm glad I finally watched it. I mean, I didn't love it. I was hoping I would love it, but I didn't hate it either.
But now if you say like, oh, I don't like it, you can actually say you've seen it. That's why I don't like it. Not so like, oh, I've heard other people don't like it.
Right.
So
yeah.
you
Exactly.
have your own opinion.
Yeah, because I hate when people trash talk things and they don't actually, they haven't actually experienced whatever it is that they're talking smack about. So yeah, I don't like to do that. All right, so okay, those are the 2 movies that we watched this week. What's the other movie we watched this week?
Well, The Great Gatsby?
Yes.
Yes, okay, I was going to say, you mentioned it earlier.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
The Great Gatsby.
Yeah, The Great Gatsby. So this movie was pretty fantastical. It was epic movie, I guess you could say. It was almost 2.5 hours long. I do think it was a little long. There are parts I could see why because they just wanted a lot of establishing shots.
Oh,
and all
should
that
we?
kind of stuff.
If we're going to talk about it, should we say it's a spoiler alert?
Yeah, I mean, I think the audience should kind of figure that out by now when we bring up a movie.
I mean, it's from a book, so if you read the book, it's not really a spoiler because they do follow the book.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll be talking about movie-specific things, so yes,
Anytime we talk about a movie we've seen, we're spoiling it. So
yeah, but yes, spoiler alert for the last half of the podcast here. Okay, but anyway, so. Go ahead. Just what are some of your thoughts on the movie?
I remember sitting there and thinking it was going kind of slow, especially at the beginning, because I was really waiting for Leonardo DiCaprio to show up, and he doesn't show up for a good, half an hour?
It felt like I
you see like his back at one point.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing because like you, no, wait, did you read The Great Gatsby and you just don't
in high
remember
school,
it?
so a long
Okay.
time ago. So I remembered certain scenes. I remember the characters' names.
Okay. I never read it, so I was going in kind of blind. Like, I had, like, a general idea, but not really. And then, like, I knew, Leonardo DiCaprio was playing Jay Gatsby. And, yeah, for the first, like, half hour or so, I'm like, shit, is this just, like, a glorified cameo and he's not really in the movie? I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, where the hell is this character? And I was about to lean over and ask somebody, and then they do the big reveal of him, which I thought was awesome. I got like the hairs on my arms stood up. I'm like, whoa, there he is.
Yeah, because you knew that's what I love about it. Because the audience knows Leonardo DiCaprio's voice, and the camera is not showing. They're showing this guy walking next to what's that guy's name?
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire's character, yeah. And
Nick,
you
I
see
think
like
his name
his chest, but you don't see his face. But you hear his voice, like that's him, that's Jay Gatsby, So finally, yeah, he turns around and he holds up his cup and like old sport.
Oh my god, drinking game. Take
Every
a
time he
sip
says
every
old
time.
sport.
Yeah, how many times did he say that?
Oh, all the time. That's why I think it was
Ooh.
funny how Tom Buchanan had said, like, where did you pick up that phrase?
Yeah, exactly, because he said it a lot in that movie.
So, but I thought that the acting by Leonardo DiCaprio was really good because there's this one scene where he gets really emotional when he's talking about Daisy, his lady love.
Right.
But yeah, it was sad, but the book is sad, so I accept the ending, but it's still like a sad reflection on society back then.
Yeah,
is
yeah,
what
yeah.
it is. People were all about money.
Yeah. It reminds me of the 80s in that kind of way, like the excess and all that kind of stuff. I agree. I think that the Leonardo DiCaprio did a very, very good job as Jay Gatsby. I also thought that, Joel Edgerton, who plays Tom Buchanan, I thought he did a really, really good job too. I actually read that Ben Affleck was supposed to play that role, but he had to drop out for something. And I think Ben Affleck would have been great in that role.
Yeah.
But I also really liked Joel Edgerton. I thought he did a good job in there. Tobey Maguire as Nick was good. And again, I didn't read the book, so I'm not completely familiar with the character, but I thought he was a little more, he just wasn't as believable as the other two.
Yeah.
He was almost too wide-eyed and stuff. And then Carey Mulligan, who played Daisy, she looked great. And again, I don't know, I think this is more of like the character in the book is probably not really well developed, I'm thinking. Again, I don't really know. But her character kind of fell flat. Like, I didn't feel anything for her at all. And I don't think it was
Except
her
anger
acting.
when she chose the husband at the end and totally
Yeah.
ignored Gatsby.
Well, okay, so let's talk about the ending a little bit. You knew something tragic was going to happen.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if he was going to die or what, but I knew they weren't going to ride off into the sunset together. And so, he dies and he gets shot, and then they have the funeral and everything, and then her and her husband and her kid just pack up and move, and then you don't hear anything about them again. So I thought the ending was a little lacking, just because I wanted some closure on, those characters, and then the other woman, what was her name? Jordan, I think. Her friend.
Remember.
Yeah, like they just kind of whatever.
Yeah, I wanted to see Daisy's reaction when she heard that he had been shot. Like, does she know that he's dead?
There was no reaction shot. So, I think the next shot you see of her is when they're packing up and moving. It's
and her cousin is trying to call and talk to her, and they're like shaking their head saying no, she doesn't want to talk to him. So she's like shunning everything that would remind her, I guess, of Gatsby, including her cousin.
Yeah, I just I needed a little bit of her POV at that point, just because that's really important stuff. You just want to know what happened with her. So yeah, I didn't really like that. I know that the movie stayed pretty true to the book, so I'm guessing the book ending is lacking like that also.
We'll have to both pick that up and read it, or read the Spark Notes,
so.
or
read the Wikipedia.
Yeah, I remember how the green light, when I was in high school, because we had to write essays and stuff. The green light represented money, but also could represent the unattainable and stuff. So it had a lot of symbolism in the book that I think they tried to show that in the movie. They may have had a little more difficulty, but yeah, there's a lot of good diction in the book, like the words and everything. So it's you can imagine more in the book. But they did a great job with showing the like you were saying, how they had too much stuff back then. You know, all the money and all the great parties he was throwing.
Oh yeah.
It was a great, like, they'll probably be nominated for the set, you know, and costume design.
Yeah, set design, costume design. Yeah, exactly. And now this movie, I remember, was supposed to come out either on Christmas Day or right around Christmas time, because it was going to go in for the the award season, and then they pushed it back to the summer, and I was like, oh damn, I was really looking forward to that. And I don't remember the actual reasoning why they pushed it back, but they did. And I don't know if it was to maybe clean up the movie a little bit or tighten it up or something like that. But yeah, the movie, when you go to see a movie, this movie is directed by Baz Luhrmann. When you go to see one of his movies, you're going for like the spectacle portion of it.
It's like a Moulin Rouge.
Exactly, Moulin Rouge. I didn't see it, but Australia also looks stunning.
And Romeo and Juliet, right?
And yeah, Romeo and Juliet. And I think he did another one called Strictly Ballroom, but I haven't seen that movie, so I can't comment on that one. But yeah, all those movies it's their look, and this movie, it looks amazing. Like, I love the way it looked. All the big CGI shots, the big aerial shots, and the zoom outs and zoom ins, and just when they were driving.
And the camera's panning around, and Leo is like talking and stuff. Yeah,
I love the way it looked, and the cars were great, and his Gatsby's house I really liked too.
Just the set design itself was just amazing.
Yeah, it was. The movie looked gorgeous. The storyline is a little lacking in parts. Acting, I think, is great. I love the soundtrack. I can't wait to listen, because I know you recognize a lot of the songs, and I think I already have like a lot of the songs on my iPod. But as a whole, I want to hear the soundtrack. So.
Yeah, I remember in the theater, I turned to you and I was singing along with. They had a remake of Crazy in Love.
Yes.
Beyonce's Crazy in Love, but it was like a slower version. I was like, hey, so I turned to Tina and said. I started singing along, and you started laughing. Like, okay, we better stop. We're gonna annoy people.
Right. Yeah, because I skimmed some reviews and stuff, and but a lot of people were commenting on how the rap music didn't exist then. Why are they putting it in there? It has no place. Blah blah blah. But I think it fit really well, because like it wasn't just straight rap music. They did have a lot of rap music in there. But they had it kind of like playing over top of the old more old sounding music.
Yeah, it wasn't music that they were listening to. It's a music that's a soundtrack for the movie that we are listening to.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And it fit with the characters and with the scenes and stuff. And like, when the Nick character, Tobey Maguire, first gets to New York and stuff. So I really like the soundtrack. I really like the way they did that. And I think it worked really well.
There's one thing I just remembered again when I was talking about how I kept leaning towards you and whispering stuff. There's one scene where Leonardo DiCaprio is so excited to show Daisy his house, so they go up to the gate, and he has his guards there, and he says like, "Open the gate," and the guard turns towards another guard's like, "Open the gate," and it reminded me of Austin Powers when she's like, "Open the tank."
Yeah, it's like you could have just told that guy. You didn't have to tell him to tell you.
I could hear the guard saying it in Frau Fleschner's voice. Open the gate.
Yeah.
So that was funny.
Yeah, I enjoyed the movie. Like when when the credits first started rolling, I was like, "Oh, how'd you like it?" And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, I think I liked it, but it's like too soon. I gotta sit on it for a minute. There's very few movies that like I'm walking out of the theater, I'm like, holy shit, that was an awesome movie. Even Iron Man 3, like I really liked that movie, but I needed a few to digest the movie.
Yeah, the only movie I ever done that for was Avengers. When I came out, I loved that movie, and we went and saw it, I think, 2 more times in the theater.
I did it for the Avengers. I did it for the first 2 pirate movies, or Pirates of the Caribbean movies. What else? No, like Harry Potter was more of, and same thing with Hunger Games. It was just I just wanted to see what they were going to do with this stuff, and.
How are they going to portray that scene?
Exactly, yeah. Not that I didn't like them or anything like that, but I was just really interested to see what they were going to do with it. But yeah, not a whole lot of movies where I leave the theater immediately liking the movie. So
I guess our overall opinion is that for costume design and set design and just the overall visuals of the movie are awesome, like A+. And then the acting is good. It's not like shining moments like Academy Award acting, but it's still, it's good enough that you get into at least the the romance of the movie, or like the rift, I guess, the rift between the three of them.
Yeah.
Especially
I mean,
the
you
one
get
scene
dynamics.
in that when it's they're in that one room, and then he and Tom Buchanan are like, debating.
Oh,
and like,
yeah.
she never loved you. Say you never loved him. It's like, what? You never loved me? So yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I think the two standouts for me still are Tom and Joel Edgerton and Leonardo DiCaprio. I think were the best
definitely.
actors in there. I also did think that I don't remember the character's name, but the guy who actually shot him and then ended up killing himself. That guy's name is Jason Clarke, I think, and he did a good job too because he was, his wife gets killed in the movie, and he was really upset and stuff. And he's not like mentally challenged or anything, but he's just a little bit slower on the pickup and stuff. And I think he did that role really well. So those would be the three main.
So the
that I would
men
say.
dominated the movie more than the women.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. So yeah, the only thing, I mean, it's a little long, and there's parts of the story where you're just you want to feel more, like it's all there, but just something's lacking, and you just can't get into it. Like I was hoping maybe I would even like cry at the end, and nowhere near it.
And I'm a big wimp when it comes to sad movies, like Moulin Rouge. I cried at the end, so but not even like eyes welling up.
Yeah,
I didn't even have that. So
well, it's because there was no like big goodbye or anything. So I don't know. But yeah, that's our opinion. So we're pretty much feel the same about the movie. I'd say then. So. Yeah, so it was pretty good. Man, Leonardo DiCaprio, I adore him. I think he's a great actor. There's a lot of movies of his that I haven't seen that I want to see. Like, I never saw The Blood Diamond.
I've seen that.
How was it?
I didn't like all the violence that was in it, but I think, he does a great job acting in that movie. And along with, I didn't look it up, but there's a black actor in that movie that they, work together.
That's,
he does a really good job acting as well.
I know who you're talking about. That's Jaimin Hunsu, I think, the guy who was in Gladiator, right? Oh, well, I'm pretty sure that was him.
Haven't seen Gladiator.
Holy shit, really?
That's
remember, going in your list.
Well, because I've heard the quotes, and it's like, "Are you not entertained?"
Yeah.
So I know the premise, but everyone's been telling me like it's so sad and blah blah blah. It just does not give me an urge to go see it.
I mean, it is. There's sad parts to it, but like I didn't leave the theater like sobbing or anything. But you should definitely see that movie.
It wasn't like City of Angels where they're like, oh, after that he just dies.
No.
No.
I hated the end of that movie.
Kind of like, I know if I've ever brought it up, but the movie I've seen that I've hated the most was the movie Death Sentence with Kevin Bacon. My sister made me watch that. I was like, it was just getting worse and worse. There was no resolution. There was no good, like anything
that's
good
a pretty
to knock
grim
him out of
movie.
that movie. Yeah, I was like, I hate this movie. And my sister, she always tells me like, oh, this movie's great. You need to see it. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'll trust you. And she did that with Drag Me to Hell, which I really didn't like, because she said, oh, it's going to be scary. I'm like, okay, and it wasn't scary.
I
it was
love
more
Drag
funny.
Me to Hell.
But I was like, I don't really care for this movie. As a scary movie, I didn't like it. Like, this is not scary. And then, she made me watch Death Sentence. I said, I hate this movie. So I was like, I'm never going to trust you again.
Yeah, there's certain people, it's like, okay, you're a great person and you're my friend, but I can't trust your movie opinion. Yeah, actually, I know quite a few people like
that's
that.
how you and I started bonding, is we both realized like certain things about movies.
Yeah, exactly. So, Death Sentence is a pretty grim movie. Now, wait, hold on. Okay. The opening scene of Drag Me to Hell, where the little kid gets dragged to hell, like, you didn't find that scary at all?
I think I did. I think, you know what? The main reason why I hate that movie is that she killed her cat.
Oh.
And I love cats, and I was like, why? Why is this necessary? Like, anytime they just kill a poor helpless animal, like, just, no.
That was sad,
and I understand it's a movie, but I just don't like cats. Just like I didn't like Homeward Bound when the Sassy goes over the waterfall and you think she's dead. Like, your poor cat.
Oh.
I don't like animal violence.
Oh, man, Homeward Bound. I haven't seen that movie in a real long time.
What is it? Sally Field and
Michael J. Fox.
I was gonna say Back to the Future guy.
Don Amici, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that is a cute movie.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I didn't like the cat being killed, so that's one of the reasons I didn't like Drag Me to Hell. It's sad, but it's true. I didn't.
I mean, that was sad, but I really liked that movie, and there were parts that I thought were scary. I mean, there's a good mix of horror, and then there's a lot of funny parts in the movie too. But that opening scene, I thought I'm like, man, if I had seen this when I was younger, I would have flipped the hell out.
That's what
like,
it was.
Geez.
I think what else ruined it was like every time that poor girl kept having throw up being thrown in her mouth.
Oh, that's like a thing that Sam Raimi does in his movies, and I don't like that. I find it really gross. That's not my cup of tea. So yeah, that was
not cup of tea.
Oh, my cup of...
No, your jug of sweet tea.
Oh, my jug of sweet tea. Okay, yeah. I'm like, wait, what did I say? Excuse me. Wow, we went off on like a really weird thing there.
I don't know how to connect it back to where we were at.
We were talking about...
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay, yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I was saying I really like him. I think he's a good actor. But there's quite a few movies of his that I haven't seen that I want to see.
That's right. We went in The Blood Diamond, and then,
and
that's
Gladiator.
Where we went. Yeah. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, so I haven't seen The Blood Diamond. Did you see The Departed?
No.
Oh,
I've also haven't seen The Aviator, and I heard that's good as well.
I watched like half of that movie, and I got bored with it, so I never finished it.
And I saw, he was in J. Edgar, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I could not sit through that. It was very dull for me.
That looked that's not one I want to see.
So I'm trying to think of like what my favorite movie I've seen him in, because I really liked him in Shutter Island. I really liked him in Inception, Titanic, obviously. I haven't seen What's Eating Gilbert Grape. That was like his first movie or something.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. No, it wasn't his first, but I think he was nominated. That was the first movie he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor. I think either Best Supporting Actor, Oscar, or a Golden Globe. I don't remember which. But yeah, I really like that movie. Actually, he's very good in there. It's sad in a lot of parts, but it's a really good movie. I like it.
And I really liked him in Django Unchained too. So I think Leo's been making some great movies lately.
He was in Django Unchained, Titanic, The Departed, Inception, Catch Me If You Can. Did you ever see that?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, that has Tom Hanks in it too, and he's the guy that's chasing after Leonardo DiCaprio's character, and I think it's based on a true story too. And I'm pretty sure that Steven Spielberg directed it. That's another one that I really like that movie, but it's a little long, so I don't ever want to watch it. But it's a good movie. I think you'd like it.
You know, that reminds me of, this is another tangent, but when my sisters and I, when we were younger and we were trying to stay up for New Year's Eve, we were trying to make ourselves stay up till midnight.
Right.
And so to keep ourselves awake, we put on like the longest movie we could find. And the longest movie that we owned was Mary Poppins, a Disney movie, because that's almost 2 hours long.
Oh, okay.
And so it just made me think of like, I don't want to watch it because it's so long. Like, so we had our to-go movie, like that would be long. That
if a movie is really long, that's a really big turnoff for me. There's a whole bunch of movies that I've tried to watch, like stuff I get or back when I used to get the discs from Netflix, and I'd get them and I'd be like, no, I don't feel like I had Munich for like 2 weeks, and I sent it back just because I never watched it.
I haven't seen that either.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. I want to.
It worked for, like, Avengers was a long movie, and it worked for that. I stayed interested the whole time.
Yes.
And then Titanic was a long movie. It was back then it was 2 VHS tapes.
I remember I had the 2-pack.
And the DVD I have now, you have to take it out and flip it over.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't own that on DVD.
I do.
Probably should buy that. So, yeah, for me, I'd have a bit of a tough time finding my favorite Leonardo DiCaprio movie. It'd be between Inception and Titanic, I think.
I'm
really
gonna go
like
with
Django.
Inception. What I prefer, just because he has that confusion, and the thing with his wife and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some right now I'm leaning towards Inception, but then some other day I might be more into Titanic. So I'll go with those. Well,
he was part of your favorite couple.
Hey, I stand by that couple. That's an awesome couple.
Like Rose and Jack, favorite couple.
So now that you've seen The Great Gatsby and you've had a few days to process it and stuff, where does it stand with like Moulin Rouge and Romeo and Juliet for you? I'm sorry. Did you say you didn't see Australia?
I have not seen Australia.
Okay, I haven't either. So we'll take that.
No, I remember somewhat liking Romeo and Juliet, but not a whole lot. I love Moulin Rouge, so it would probably have to go Moulin Rouge and then The Great Gatsby and then Romeo and Juliet, I think. But I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen Romeo and Juliet in a while, so I'd have to watch it again. But I really did love Moulin Rouge, and just like I said, it makes me cry at the end every time. I love the music in it. And I love Nicole Kidman, and Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
So.
You know what I just realized right now when you were talking about that? Is John Leguizamo's in both of those movies. He's Toulouse-Lautrec in Moulin Rouge, and he's Tybalt in Romeo and Juliet. He's one of my favorite characters in Romeo and Juliet. I thought he was really good in that movie.
There's a movie that Rod's been telling me to see that it's John Leguizamo and Patrick Swayze, and then the guy from Blade.
Oh my God!
That they're dressed up as women. Yes.
Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar.
Yeah, he said because he showed me a scene. I was like, this looks hilarious. I need to watch this.
I love that movie. I have it. You're gonna put it in your queue, and you will watch it.
Okay. Because he showed me that. He's like, you need to see this if you think this. If you thought The Birdcage was funny, you should see this movie. I was like, okay.
I love that movie. It's a funny movie, and to see these guys, especially Patrick Swayze and Wesley Snipes, these macho men.
Snipes, there we go. It's like the Blade guy.
yeah. I love that movie, so I think you'll enjoy it.
Speaking of Blade, every time Rob and I were watching Django Unchained, saw the wife. It's like, that's Blade's mom. That's Blade's mom. The wife in Django Unchained. I forgot the actress's name, but he said she plays Blade's mom.
That's not the same actress.
Well, that's what Rob said. So
no,
Rob will be listening. You're wrong then.
Oh no, the one in Django Unchained is Kerry Washington. She's the one who's also in that show Scandal, which I want to watch, but I haven't yet. And she was in Save the Last Dance. Did you ever see that?
Yes.
Yeah, she was the sister in that movie. She's been in other stuff too. I can't think of anything right off the top of my head. Ray, I think she was in Ray. Anyway, that's Kerry Washington. And the woman who plays Blade's mom, I don't totally know how to pronounce her name, so I'm sorry if I say it wrong, but her name is Sanaa Lathan, and she was in, she's been in a lot of stuff.
Okay. Well, do they look alike then? Because I haven't seen Blade in a long time.
They look a
That's
little
what he was
alike.
telling me, unless I got it wrong. Rob, correct me if I'm wrong, and if you're wrong.
Well, we'll check IMDb and give you a clear answer on Twitter.
Thanks, honey, for making me look stupid.
Oh, no, it's fine. All right, we need to wrap this up because we're going off on tangents all over the place
We
today.
figure out they're all connected though. That's how you.
There's a chain going there for sure. The point is, Leonardo DiCaprio is great.
Yes, he's a great actor. He really should get an Oscar. For something.
Has he actually won for anything?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I don't think so.
We'll have to check that out too.
Yeah,
I think he's been nominated.
I know he was nominated for Best Actor, I think for The Aviator, and probably for something else.
He was nominated for, I think, Supporting Actor for Django, wasn't he? Or is that Samuel L. Jackson?
No. Leonardo DiCaprio and Christoph Waltz were nominated for the Golden Globe. Then Christoph Waltz was nominated and won the Oscar, but Leonardo DiCaprio, I don't think was nominated for an Oscar.
Nah, I get those mixed up.
Yeah. I mean, that's they are just awards, so who gives a shit, really?
Yeah.
But
well, they do.
I guess whatever. Anyway, so in wrap up now, now that we're done talking about Leo and The Great Gatsby, what do you plan on watching next week?
I'm probably going to watch Willow just because you and I, we tell the story. We went to Blockbuster yesterday because Tina was renting her Fast and Furious movies, and they have a movie playing, and Tina's like, "Oh, that's Willow! Don't watch it! Don't look at it! You'll ruin it!"
Yeah, I was like, "Stop! Don't look!
Don't look at it! Cover your eyes."
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. Because I saw Val Kilmer. I was like, "Oh, he's young. Don't watch it."
Yeah.
I guess I'll watch that this week. I'll go since they were playing it. Obviously, they have it, so I can go rent it from Blockbuster.
Yeah. Well, I think I have it, so I'll double check.
Or I can rent it from you.
Yeah. Save $1. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm glad you're going to see that. I love I love that movie. It's near and dear to my heart. I think it came out in '87, so keep that in mind too.
It'd be like Never Ending Story.
Yeah, I mean, it is a fantasy movie,
yeah.
So... my movie is a more current one. I'm going to go with The Book of Eli. Mm-hmm. I actually borrowed that from a friend of mine several months ago, and it's been sitting in my house gathering dust, so I'm going to crack it open and watch it.
I enjoyed them. That was a good movie. I love Denzel Washington. I love Gary Oldman.
Right.
So, and even Mila Kunis, too. She's good in that movie.
Oh, yeah. I forgot she was in there. The movie was spoiled for me, so I do know the big twist about the movie. But, I mean, I still want to see it just because...
Like the part about the book?
Well, I mean, I know it's like he's carrying around a copy of the Bible, so I think that's another reason why I was kind of like, no.
It's
whatever.
really not a religious movie, if that's what you're thinking. I mean, there are some scripture sayings and stuff, but it's more like action and killing and just trying to keep this book safe and stuff. So.
Oh, well, now I'm on board.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I knew it was the Bible, but I know that he's also blind, so whatever. I'm still gonna watch the movie and stuff.
Denzel Washington's not blind.
He's not blind, he has some kind of disability or something, right?
Okay, well, you will watch and find out.
Oh, whatever. We'll go into
Unless
it next
that's
week.
something I didn't catch, but we will see.
Well, we'll have a whole discussion about that next week.
Yes, 'cause this whole twist thing you may be wrong about.
Hopefully. I really hope I am, because that would be awesome. I hate being spoiled with
Blindness
movies.
has something to do with the movie, but it may not be what you think. So there is something about blindness. So,
okay. Good.
But yeah,
I'm
you'll enjoy
interested
that.
now.
I can watch that movie again, too. I love that movie.
Yay. I have it on Blu-ray too, so it'll be nice and crisp, clear picture. All right, so Book of Eli, and then I guess the next episode of Breaking Bad.
Yes.
And Willow will be on next week, and also probably will be very Fast and Furious heavy.
Yes, because we're seeing that on Wednesday. So Wednesday.
Yeah, exactly,
so
Wednesday.
Talk about that too.
So if you want to send us any suggestions or tips or
yell at us
or any, just say hey. You can reach us. Our email is damselsinDebate@gmail.com. We're also on Twitter, just Damsels in Debate. And we're also on Facebook, Damsels in Debate Podcast. Just search for that, and then we'll come right up. So that's pretty much it for this week.
Yep.
Yay.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Talk to you next week.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
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 Next week.